Kimby and
Ariel.
And on this episode of Kimby's Review, we are actually going to be reviewing a movie. It came out on YouTube. It dropped. Everybody's been waiting for it. It is Never Hike in the Snow. So this is actually a sequel to Never Hike Alone. So be sure to go watch those two. And they are Friday the 13th fan films. So they were made by fans.
I was just about to say, explain a little bit more about fan films. For those, me, who don't really understand why those are made.
Fan films are made by the fans. They're diehard lovers of the characters, lovers of all the movies. So they're like, hey, we want to see this character in succession. We want to have them in this story. They make their own storylines. They hire their own characters, do everything in-house themselves.
And it's not like illegal or anything. Like you can. Because I mean, I know there's obviously always the issue with copyrights. So.
Right. So it is not illegal to use like names.
Okay.
For and likenesses, but that is why they state like it's a fan film, and they do have disclaimers in the beginning of their videos, usually like, hey, this is made, and it's usually for a non-for-profit, so they don't release it to make money. It is strictly for themselves. Fair warning, spoiler alert, if you have not seen this, do not watch this. Go away, exactly. First 5 minutes of the movie.
My daughter stopped. And she was just like, Mom, that's Jason. And I'm like, girl, you're 3.
Exactly.
Like, I had no idea she even knew who Jason was. I was just like, what am I missing?
So, like, when it first starts out, you get the running, right? Jason is chasing someone, so you get that feeling. You already know there's going to be action. So they had nice layering in the scenes. That was something that I've seen. And it just looked awesome. The color grading was great. That yellow jacket popped out against those greens. I was like, they picked a good color for that.
Yes.
And it was just literally an action sequence. So when Jason gets up to that kill, I was not expecting the axe to the mouth. But no. I was excited for it. Like,
Mom, he died. I was like, yes, he did. And I mean, it was the only thing I didn't like about that, which I mean, I've never axed anybody in the mouth, so I don't know what that would actually look like. I didn't like the tongue, because so the axe was here, and then the tongue was like out underneath it.
Yeah.
And out of everything else, like that was the only thing that really looked fake. Because I mean, the blood splurting, the twitching of the hands, like all that was good. But then I saw that tongue, and I was just like,
I think that, and that was probably just specifically for the shot scene. So like if they left him in the tree, it probably would have been hard to get that side.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about that either. And within that first scene, right before the title screen, we do see Jason, and he brought out the bow and arrow. And if anybody is a Jason fan, they know Jason shoots bow and arrows.
Okay, so there it is. Because I was like, he's in archery now?
Yes.
Like,
he
I was
does
so
that.
confused.
He does that. So I would say for all the deaths, just in general. So there was only two. Yes. So for the deaths in general, they were very unexpected for me. Mm-hmm. Like I was not expecting them, and I thought it was going to be more of like a slower build-up. In the first death, it was kind of like he was getting chased, so we seen that. But that second death, completely by surprise.
But I mean, it was only 31 minutes, so
yeah.
I had to get in there somewhere.
I wasn't expecting. I thought there would have been more of like a drawn out Jason and Alan, which is the officer, their encounter, but it was good for what it was.
I wasn't expecting him to die like that.
Yeah, he just, I wasn't either.
I was just like,
I'm like, whoa.
It happened so fast.
So fast, yes.
He had the gun, and then what? Did Jason just hit it or something? Because then his head was gone. And the shot head went off, and I was just like,
just having this out there, the camera angle for Jason throughout the whole movie, like they had a nice perspective detective to like have him be stalker-ish. So like you always see him and it's from afar and the camera's kind of a little shaky and you know it's him. He's like out in the woods breathing and it's like you see him even though they don't. So like I think they did a good job with that. Tommy Jarvis shows up and I'm telling you, he was out there and he knew what was up. He was trying to warn the sheriff, the officer there on call. The sheriff already knew what was happening. He was shady, so shady. Like he was trying to cover it up with his officer.
He
Alan.
specifically told him, like after they found the evidence that something had happened to the kid, they found the car, the blood.
Yep.
He was like, oh well, just cover that with salt. And he's like, wait, that's obstructing the crime scene.
Yeah, an active crime scene at that.
And he was like, I have everything that I need. Do what I told you to do. And then that blind loyalty that some people just have, I was just like, what?
The sheriff, he goes to the house to ask the mom about her missing son. And he already knows, like, from the camp what's going on. He's trying to cover it up, and he does the same thing in the house. He's like, let me go check the kid's room. When he went in there, he took the map. So, like, this part was kind of confusing for me. I had to
he wanted to take
watch
the
it a couple
evidence
times.
away to where, like, the son specifically went out there for a reason.
For that specific reason. But this is my thing, and this is where it gets confusing. So, they had the trailer up on YouTube from the first person who got killed in Never Hike Alone. So, that was there. And obviously, he probably followed him, subscribed to him. I'm not sure what exactly got out, but that guy made it out alive from Camp Crystal Lake. Tommy drove off with him in the ambulance at the end of the movie. So we know he survived. I don't know if that footage was up, if he put the footage up on the internet or what. And those papers specifically had Camp Crystal Lake mapped out. Like, this is the area. It also had, because I went back and watched it a second time, it had like little outlines. So like, and points. So I'm thinking that it was literally his specific trail from the first movie.
Such a horrible idea.
Well, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. And they're new to the area, so he's like, oh, well, I'm going to go check it out because he doesn't know anything about, we're assuming. But where did he get those papers? Where did he get that information? It was like, never forget. It said that at the top. And I'm like, how did he get these papers? Did somebody give them to him? What happened? And it had a picture of the cabin.
Yeah.
Which is the main, cabin at Camp Crystal Lake. I don't really know that, and I think that might be revealed within some of the other films, because this is the second film out of 5 that are going to be made.
Oh.
For the Never Hike Alone fan film series. Yeah, the sheriff, he's just shady. Shady little baby. I'm telling you what, I'm tired of him. I was tired of him through the whole movie, and I'm like, I guess I understand kind of like where he's coming from, trying to protect it, because the more that the town figures out, oh hey, this is Camp Crystal Lake, the more problems the town is going to have.
When there's death and destruction or anything paranormal or whatever, that's when you have people, oh well, let me go check this out. Oh hey, da 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 da. Let's all go check this out, and then that's how.
And then bodies, because ghost chasing is a real thing. Is a real thing right now. Okay, the dead body scene. I was like, whoa, that was really good. They did a really good job, and I think that he's stuck in his childlike mannerism. So like when they say he first initially drowned and everything like that, he's stuck in there, and you see that within the scene of his mom, telling him that he's a handsome boy, and she just embraces him, and he turns into his younger Jason self. So like that gives you the feels, definitely. I got the chills when I seen the body, and I got the feels when I seen the mom and Jason.
The chills and feels.
I was like, dang, this is hitting me, and it kind of reminded me like who Jason is and why he does what he does. That's kind of like a little explanation within the films. For surprise, I did like the use of the body cam. So now that was cool. Yes, I like that perspective. So in Never Hike Alone, they actually used it, set up like an action camera. So he had an action camera on the whole time, and they use that perspective for like his perspective a lot within that film.
Okay.
Like what he actually sees and things that are happening until his camera dies. And in here they did that with the actual camera, the one that he crushed. And then
yeah, he made sure to crush all cameras.
Yeah, he was like, nobody's getting me on film, which I don't blame him at all. Within the Alan officer scene and like his exploration and things like that, I didn't. He was like discovering Jason, so like he was seeing the Camp Crystal Lake sign, the emblem for Camp Crystal Lake. He's seen the body, so he's like kind of putting all these pieces together, I'm assuming. But I thought that the buildup was nice for what it was, because it gives fans like that nostalgia of like what the actual Jason films are. It's like those things are iconic, and it's like we hit him on the head, we hit him hard, we hit him to the point. So like I appreciate that, but I thought it was kind of a slow build up for him to actually get to where Jason was. He's more so like, well, what's going on? Why did the sheriff want me to leave? Why isn't he talking to me? Like, you know, that whole type of thing. I mean, that last scene, epic. I would say the kills were great. Great use of blood in the first scene. Actually, I don't really remember seeing a lot of blood in the second kill.
It didn't splash on his face, on Jason's mask.
It did. That's what you seen. But I mean, he got his head blown back.
Which means most of the blood would have went
off
back
anyway. Yeah.
So.
But I say the blood was nice, because that first kill scene,
yeah, it was
spot on. I'm like, yeah. I would say overall, like, I would give this a 9 out of 10. And I'm not saying that like within fan films, I'm saying like in general. I thought it was good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. There was enough action. There was a okay storyline, and it was progressing and moving, and you were figuring things out. So that's what I would give it. Just rating it that way. I want more. I want to see the next one for sure. I'm super excited, and I know we're probably gonna have to wait, because I know these take a lot of time to make, and you guys gotta raise funds. So, but yeah, I definitely want to see more.
I enjoyed the professionalism,
Mm-hmm.
Especially because when you originally wanted me to watch this, I was just like, oh my god. Number one, it's a fan film, which, I mean, I didn't really know what that was, but I was just like, okay, it's going to be some rinky-dink shit that I don't want to watch. But then, just for the first scene, you know, I'm guessing they used a drone to have the higher view of this kid in a bright yellow jacket running in the snow. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then as I was watching, I was like, all the effects were really good for the most part. The storyline was decent. I felt like the only thing I didn't like was the way that the mom reacted, because she was sad. She was very calm, and I'm sorry if my kid is just gone missing in a new town we've never been in. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I'd lose my shit. Like, where was he at? I'm gonna go there right now and go look for him. Like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Like, I'm going. So overall, I'd probably give it an 8.5 to probably an 8.5.
8.5.
Just because it's not really my type of thing, but overall, like, it was a very good production. They did well.
Yeah.
Especially for my first time really seeing a fan film.
Yeah.
And if this is what they're like, well then, you know, I would watch more.
This is a top tier fan film.
Clearly.
Just saying. Y'all doing y'all thing. There. Yeah. I would recommend Never Hike in the Snow. I would recommend Never Hike Alone as well. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the next ones to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So, 9 out of 10?
8.5.
8.5. There you go. That's it. That's all. See you later.
Later.